There's something I want to tell you guys. And it's something I put up on my Facebook page. And there were a bunch of people being like, wait, I don't get this. Or they just downright fought it. But I'm going to tell it to you like this. I'm as white as I am Mexican. And I want to tell you that racism is a white problem. We need to not take it personally. It is white supremacy. So racism is a white problem. And the comments are open if you guys want to throw comments on this one. But we need to not pass the buck and say, yeah, but other cultures and other people, they have racism too. Are they in charge? And this is how it happens, okay? You guys ever see that show Hoarders, where the old person owns the house, and the house is like full of old newspapers and magazines and cat shit, and this house is nasty, right? And as an outsider, seeing this old person on Hoarders, you're like, that house is disgusting. How do they live like that? But they're like, well, this is all my stuff. This is my house. I don't know any better, and I like it. And I've got everything I need right here, even though you have to like climb over a mountain of trash to get to the bathroom. Or you've only given yourself like a little corner in the kitchen, what's left of it, to watch TV. You're living in filth, and you've allowed your house to start rotting to the point where the rats that you've allowed to start living in your house, you don't even know where they are because you have so much trash in your house. We're talking about Hoarders here. Have you seen the show Hoarders? The rats have now infected the entire neighborhood, and the neighborhood hates you. And yeah, you may not think that you're racist because your neighbors are Latino or Asian or black. You live in a pretty diverse neighborhood, but the problem is you're the hoarder who owns the house, and your rats have infected the entire neighborhood, and they hate you about it. They're like, we got to get you out of the neighborhood. You are the problem. But you're like, no, I keep everything within my property, and people are welcome in my home, and this is my stuff. And yeah, okay, so I let cousin Randy move in back, and he's got swastika tattoos. But I mean, he makes a mean hamburger, and you don't want to piss him off too bad because he owns guns. Well, we let Randy come in and live here for a long time. And yeah, when there's a neighborhood cookout, maybe he covers up the Nazi tattoos and does cook a mean hamburger. And it's gotten to the point where we actually elected a homeowners association president who loves Randy. And he doesn't mind your house infecting the entire neighborhood. He's going to let you off the hook for how disgusting your house has gotten and how it's really creating property damage for others. And as the whole neighborhood goes downhill, this homeowners association head who you elected is like, you know what? I don't think Randy's such a bad guy. He makes a mean burger. And yeah, he owns guns, but he also doesn't play his Kid Rock too loud. And Kid Rock's kind of tight. That's the guy making sure that you get to keep things the way that you have it. It's a problem. The house has to get cleaned out. The shit has to get thrown away. You're living in filth that you created, that you've lived among for a long time. And you know what? If you've seen Poltergeist, here's a little spoiler warning. We built this shit on an Indian burial ground. You don't build houses on Indian burial grounds, but this whole damn country was built on an Indian burial ground. It didn't work out so well in Poltergeist. How do you clean it out? Well, first off, you don't take it personally. When people come in and say, hey, you're a hoarder, we need to clean your house up, you don't go, no, that's mine. You have to listen. You have to accept that you have a problem, and you have to accept that you have a blindness. You can't see it because you've lived amongst it for so long. Listen to other people. Listen to the people in your neighborhood who are affected by this infection, who are affected by the rats coming out of your nasty house and making their dog sick, or biting their kids, or tearing up their yards, or chewing through their homes. Listen to your neighbors. Listen to the people who are affected by this privileged life you live where you don't have to listen to anybody. And again, don't take it so personally. It's a white problem. It's okay. We're the ones in the driver's seat. We're the ones who've profited off this system. And we're the ones who have to be present and engaged in part of cleaning this house. If you ever watch Hoarders, they don't send the people away and then clean their house and they come back and they're like, oh, it's a makeover, it's fixed. No, the homeowner has to be a part of cleaning that house because they have to acknowledge the problem. They have to learn what happened over the course of years, decades, that made them blind to this issue. so that once the house is cleaned and you can have those cookouts, Randy's probably got to go with the swastika tattoos. You don't recreate that system again. We, you, me, anybody who's profited off of this fucked up hoarder's ass system that we've set up over centuries have to be present in the fixing. We have to be active of it, and we got to own it. Okay? I don't know if you've seen Hoarders. I think it's on Netflix. I know Heidi's been watching it. Some of that shit's pretty nasty, but we're living in a hoarder situation. We can't ignore it. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's get Geekscape started. I love you guys so much.